OK, well, on that point, the opposition is moving towards a future that involves nuclear and not just medium-sized reactors, but according to reports this morning, large-scale nuclear reactors to be part of the mix. What's your thoughts on that plan?
Well, a couple of things about that, Pete. I mean, first of all, is it any wonder they failed for a decade on energy policy when they've gone once again for the option which is the most expensive, takes the longest to build and is the most divisive? You know, Peter Dutton is more interested in cheap and divisive politics than he is interested in cheap and reliable electricity. And we see that in this nuclear fantasy that he is engaged in. You know, his proposal will cost hundreds of billions of dollars, take decades to build, it's more expensive, takes longer, and it's the divisive option.
Right.
So if he wants to build large-scale nuclear reactors around our country, he should tell us where they're going to go. If he was in government. I think most Australians recognise that our future is renewable, and that's where our efforts and our attention must lie.
Nuclear more reliable though, is it not?
Oh, not necessarily, Pete. I mean, we've seen around the world, we've seen examples of where some of these big projects, which were much heralded at the time, are taking much longer to build and are not working out as they were advertised. But I think we all know where this is coming from. This is more about a culture war. It's more about his usual divisive politics than it is about cheaper, more reliable electricity for people and businesses.
Okay.
He is always on the hunt for cheap politics, not cheap electricity, and we're seeing that again
Just
today.
a final one on the economy, Treasurer. National accounts, of course, up tomorrow. Are you expecting the economy to contract?
Well, that remains to be seen, Pete, but we certainly expect the economy to have finished last year in a pretty weak position. We know that from the way that businesses were running down their inventories in those numbers that we got yesterday. We know that the UK and Japan went into recession in the December quarter last year. We know that there was an interest rate hike in November. We know that people were under pressure. So a combination of all of those things will weigh heavily on our economy. We'll see just how heavily it weighed on our economy in the December quarter when we get those important numbers tomorrow.
Okay.